The story doesn't stop here though. There is more evidence that the image in the tablet is that of Moses, peace be upon him. We shall turn to the tablet in position B by rotating it 180 degrees from position A. Once again, we turn to the tablet in position B and rotate it 180 degrees to find out more about the mystery behind this magnificent piece of art. Let's look closely at the tablet in position B, but before we do that, I would like to bring your attention to the fact that while in position B, a secret is unraveled, one that is known only to messengers of God. Previous nations had no clue what this secret is all about, but if you look closely at the tablet in this position, an image of the one-eyed antichrist appears as was described by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The fact that the antichrist had one eye was known only to prophets, but not the nations to whom they were sent. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had told his companions, "I shall reveal to you something about the Antichrist that no other messenger of God had ever revealed to his people." Notice that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did not say that the other messengers did not know. He said they didn't reveal to their people the fact about the Antichrist being one-eyed and that God could never be as such. Henceforth, the maker of this piece must have derived this information from a prophet of God. In this case, it had to be Prophet Solomon, peace be upon him, as he was the only prophet interested in paintings, statues, and inscriptions. They worked for him as he desired, making arches, images, basins as large as reservoirs. Whatever he had requested was made the way he had desired, in whatever shape or form he wanted. You may be wondering as to why previous nations weren't informed of the Antichrist's one eye. The answer is simply because it wouldn't have made a difference to them whether or not he was one-eyed, merely because it won't happen till he dares claim deity. The Antichrist is already here, but isn't one-eyed yet. He will emerge somewhere from the east, as Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had told his companions, and will call on people to believe in Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. As such, some believe that the Antichrist might be disguised as a Muslim scholar and shall therefore receive support from a lot of people until he arrives at the city of Kufa in Iraq, where he will initially claim to be a messenger of God and will be rejected by anyone with reason. Then he will go so far as to claim deity, at which point one of his eyes becomes coated as with a piece of skin. His ear will be chopped off and the word kafir or disbeliever will be written across his forehead. This goes to show that the Antichrist isn't born with one eye, but will be as such when he challenges God by claiming deity. Even in the story mentioned in Sahih Muslim, one of the most reliable sources for Muslims, when Tamim ad-Dari, one of the companions of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that he had seen Antichrist tied up in the monastery and had also mentioned that he had met al-Jassasid, one of the signs of the Day of Judgment, and thought it was a devil, and she was indeed one. I personally believe that was an act played by both the Antichrist and his partner Satan. But this is not the issue. The point is, this incident was intended to relay a message about the character of the Antichrist, especially since Tamim ad-Dari didn't mention anything about him having one eye, which goes to prove once again that whatever will happen to this eye will happen later. I shall now begin explaining in detail the tablet in position B. As you can see, an image of the right side profile of a human's face appears facing the audience. There, you can see the top of his head, forehead, and nose. From his nose, we move on to his eyebrow, standing right over his eye. There is his mouth, chin, and beard. This image lacks a third dimension. Thus, someone looking at the sketch can come close enough to seeing half or a little more than half of the face. So this sketch resembles this image. The features of this man were made in such a manner that could never be mere coincidence. It was done rather precisely. The features resemble those of the Antichrist, as had been described by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who on more than one occasion described him as a young man with frizzy hair. If you notice, this man seems of middle age and was again described by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as having one eye only, an eye which hasn't been made by the engraver, because, as I had said earlier, this image represents one side of the face only. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had further described the Antichrist as having a huge mole covering the whole eye, with the word kafir, disbeliever, written across his forehead. As I see it, this eyebrow belongs to one of the eyes, while that one belongs to the coated one. As for the protrusions on his forehead, this is again hard evidence that supports what Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had said regarding the word kafir, disbeliever, written across his forehead. And we really have no idea what this mark will look like when the Antichrist emerges. Another distinguishing feature, which was described by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the Antichrist's hair, which he referred to as tree branches. We notice that his hair is dashing up with so much intensity as if it were a tree bough. Further, Antichrist was also described as a man with a broad neck. And if you look closer, you can see that the neck was made by the engraver to look quite huge. The interesting thing about this tablet is that when it was placed in position A, the letters at the top of the image of Prophet Moses, peace be upon him's forehead, were read differently from the way they were read when the tablet was in different positions. The translation was as follows: a sharp man of tremendous knowledge and a lisp. However, now that the tablet was turned upside down, a new image with a different reading is seen. Professor Yahya Ababni of Ancient Languages translated these letters as a man who is a product of an illegitimate relationship. Another rather amazing feature of this tablet is when the image of Prophet Moses appeared. Two other images representing good appeared as well. First, there was the snake, which was the cause behind Moses, peace be upon him, victory over the sorceries and the Pharaoh. And two, the cow, which was also used to unravel the mysterious homicide as was mentioned in the Holy Quran. In the current position, however, an image of the villain and enemy, the Antichrist, along with other evil symbols, also enemies of Moses, peace be upon him. We start with the scorpion, which Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, on more than one occasion legitimized killing anytime and anywhere, and had also informed us that it was one of 5 which should be killed with no consideration to time or place. This evil symbol was placed by the engraver of the tablet in the center of the Antichrist's forehead. One of the worst, if not the worst, villain ever. Then there is the head of a monkey whose left eye had also been dislocated. As you can all see, this is the intact eye and that is the dislocated one. Then there is the nose severely slanted to the left, making the image more grotesque. This is the upper lip of the monkey's mouth and this is the lower jaw. This monkey symbolizes those who had disobeyed God the Almighty at the time of Moses, peace be upon him, by going fishing on the Sabbath, a sacred Saturday, and as a result were transformed into monkeys and swine pigs. This, as you can see, is a swine pig with his left eye dislocated. The head I present to you is of a real monkey to show you the resemblance. Below the monkey is a face of a swine pig whose left eye had been dislocated as well. The other eye here is intact. There you can see the nose and the mouth. In this image, which symbolizes the face of a swine pig, the engraver has once again intended to show parallelism between being a villain and having one eye, as in the case of the Antichrist. God the Almighty said, "Shall I inform you of he who is worse than this, as judged by the treatment it received from Allah? Those who incurred the curse of Allah and His wrath, those of whom He transformed into apes and swine, those who worshipped evil. Who is this evil indeed?" There you can see another image that symbolizes an enemy of Moses, peace be upon him, and that is an image of the right side profile of a pharaoh's head. This pharaoh with beard, the nose, the mouth, the eyes, the forehead, and these 2 pieces here are the eagle and the snake, both of which are usually placed on the statues. Likewise, there are the lines of a mongoose cover that is placed on the head of the statues as well. As such, I have once again used a picture of the right side profile of a genuine statue to show you the resemblance. Strangely though, when the tablet is placed in position B, you can see an array of images that tell stories and events lived through by Prophet Moses, peace be upon him, and his nation. But more than this is the critical and significant information presented in position B. A quite logical question which calls for a logical answer is regarding the presence of Prophet Moses, peace be upon him, and the Antichrist in a single tablet. What is the mystery behind this? What might be the secret behind all of this? Why a messenger of God and the Antichrist? The answer is very